Hello everybody, I'm your host Wheel Trouble, and today we're going to go ahead and review the Continental TKC70 front tire that I had paired with the Metzeler Karoo 3 rear tire. The link for that review is down below. Who names these tires, by the way? Karoo 3, TKC70, this is kind of odd. Anyway, for the TKC70 from Continental's marketing department, we have a balanced off-road tire with street performance. It's a trail tire with radial and diagonal design for off-road use with a speed index of 150 miles an hour thanks to German engineering, which is cool because, let's be honest, if anyone manages to take a Versys 300 up to 150 miles an hour, they're hauling. And I want to know how they did it. It's positioned for light to medium off-road use with extraordinary street performance. It has a tread block pattern that makes the TKC70 quiet and stable on the road while providing good off-road capability. This is the third time they've said that, and I still have more to go. Guys, I promise, I'm really just reading this straight off their website. I'm not the one having to repeat this over and over. It's agile on the street, yet safe on gravel. There we are again. Multi-grip, making different levels of hardness between the side and the center of the tire, which is great for stable cornering while increasing tire life. This is something a lot of manufacturers have been doing recently. It also has rain grip, which means that it'll have a shorter warm-up time with outstanding wet weather grip, and I can honestly confirm this one. It also has their 0-degree steel-belted construction for high stability with low kickback. My impressions of this tire, well, I paired this with the Karoo 3 rear, and I was really pleasantly surprised. They felt really planted on gravel, and especially when I compared it to the stock trail winners that Kawasaki put on the versys-x, on my 2,000-mile vacation test run, these performed quite well in both the rain and dry pavement settings. At no point was I ever worried about washing out the front end or hydroplaning. It just wasn't a concern. The water evacuation on this tire is exactly what I want. When I got home, I was able to take this thing off-roading through the trees, and again, quite happy with how much more stable and in control I was with my VX. It handled mud fairly well, with no real sliding issues over short mud holes. The mud got out of the tread rather quickly, which is nice, though more of a gap would be something to consider if you want more time off-road in sloppy conditions. This tire was designed to split the difference between the TKC80 and something more road-oriented. It does that job really well, and paired very well with the Karoo 3 rear. I know most people don't like pairing like that, but it worked fine in this case. Many people complain about the handling on this tire, especially with the vibration at high speeds. Some have gone so far as to call it a death wobble. I've had this tire under load with a 10-year-old me and our gear for 2,000 miles of road mile. And eventually a wobble did develop-ish, and I need to explain what I mean. The stock IRC tires were terrifying, and you would feel a serious wobble that made it nerve-wracking to take your hand off the bars just to tap a communicator. The TKC70 has nowhere near that vibration. With one hand on the bars, the bike is perfectly stable. I'm left wondering if those complaining actually balanced their wheels at all. And when I take both hands off the bars, the front end begins to load up, then there's the noticeable shimmy from side to side. This is with both hands off the bars. That's not something you're likely to do unless you're squidding. I'm starting to think that it's something more to do with the tread pattern than anything else. If I'm losing the ability to take my hands off the bars is what I have to sacrifice for good mud evacuation, I'm going to take it. I'm closer to 3,000 miles with this tire now, and it still feels very planted when used as intended. This tire is a $120 tire, which is fairly reasonable. I'm not noticing any real wear on the front tire, even after all the mileage I've put on it so far. The tire performs as advertised. I wouldn't want to push it in a road race, but that's not the intended purpose. I wouldn't want to ride it through a rice field, but it wasn't meant for that. What this tire does well is a little bit of everything, and that's exactly what this tire was designed for. A little mud, a little gravel, a little sand, a little pavement. This tire does everything to a satisfactory level, but specializes in none of them. Since I don't know what adventures have in store when I go to play ride anymore with this bike, I can honestly say that I'm happy with my purchase. For the commuter who wants to enjoy trails from time to time, or blast across farm roads, this tire does it well without breaking the bank. Anyway, that pretty much sums up my review of the TKC70 from Continental. We'll see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, share. Support me on Patreon, link below. Wheel Trouble out.